Over the past 2 years, 200 million children have been plunged into the stronghold of poverty, a situation that neither they nor their children will be likely to escape. These are people who desperately needed a hand from society, but the people who actually got this help are the people who deserved it the least. Elon Musk, in this period, has increased his net worth more than tenfold, with his current net worth sitting at an astonishing $223 billion. No one deserves to be a billionaire in a world where developed and developing nations are rippled and in economic downturn. No one deserves to be a billionaire in a world where one person cannot afford one meal a day and another human can afford a private island. Disappointingly, society has learned to idolize billionaires for more than what they are. I remember my primary school speeches. I remember whenever I'd discuss role models, I'd conveniently rotate between Bill Gates, Alice Walton, and Elon Musk. I saw wealth as the pinnacle of success. And I think this assumption makes many young people lean into the notion of hustle culture. In grade 9, I went through a depressive episode where I felt as though I had no value. Instead of recognizing the intrinsic worth I had because of my very humanity, I believed that being the next Katharina Anderson, a 25-year-old Norwegian billionaire, would differentiate me. My self-concept suffered tremendously, as what has been predicted by several studies indicating how hustle culture is digging an early grave for many young people whose anxiety levels have risen exponentially in these last few years. John Locke, one of the most influential modern philosophers whose theories have been used to amend constitutions, believed that life, liberty, and property are natural rights guaranteed to humans. He once said, "Man hath by nature a power to preserve his property." And this reasoning has been used to argue that billionaires deserve to exist for the mere fact that the wealth is theirs and attained by them. If this is true, do you also believe that Alice Walton would still be a billionaire had she been born in war-torn South Sudan? The average American has roads to access Walmart. The average American has enough disposable income to shop from Walmart. Most investment firms and banks willingly fund American companies. And not to mention the very workers who are the backbone of Walton's empire. Notice how none of these factors are under her control. John Locke's principles are based off the meritocratic assumption that wealth is garnered solely off an individual's efforts. Whereas many billionaires have benefited off already existing systems operating in society. What John Locke never realized is that society has constantly given a hand to billionaires to level themselves up. Whether this be the 2008 financial crisis, or the systemic oppression and discrimination of the lower classes. Billionaires undoubtedly worked for the wealth they now have, but I do not think their merits should be used to justify a world in which they have plenty and others have very little. In the process of building an equal world, I think that we can never and will never be able to eradicate poverty entirely. That being said, there's a difference between poverty and absolute poverty, which violates a human's dignity. Most of us sitting here, though not billionaires, I suppose, are part of the upper echelons of South African society. It is up to all of us to help one another. No man's well should be empty, while his brother's is bountifully overflowing. There's a saying in the isiZulu language. It goes, "Izandla ziyagezana," hands wash one another. May I ask you, if all of us washed our neighbors' hands, do you really think billionaires would exist?